From the Green Room Studios at Bates Nursery in Nashville, Tennessee, it's Gardening Inside Out, a podcast with highlights from our Saturday morning live show, answering all your gardening questions, giving you plant advice for any space in your life. Let's start the show.
Hello, it's Caroline Gant.
Hello, it's Austin Lowen.
And hey, it's Tyler Blankenship.
Good to be here, y'all. It's great. There's a change in the air, okay? People getting excited about the planting time again. I did that.
You excited about tropical storm time, too?
No, I never said that.
That might be a thing as well.
Well, Tyler, fiery right off the bat.
Speaking of, are you referring to the next couple of days? Thursday, Friday, I think we're supposed to have a lot of rain?
Are we finally getting rain?
Yes.
For the first time in a long time.
And quite a big drink of it from what I'm seeing.
My grass is dead, so.
Looks dead.
Yeah, it looks dead.
That
This
rain will
might-
just grain it right back up.
Yeah, I'm hoping it'll feed a good bit of the South.
We need it. I know a lot of y'all are feeling our pain just like we are. Trees are just like wanting to shut down early this year. They're just like, oh, I'm stressed. I'm done. I'm losing some leaves.
Oh, my
And it is.
calycanthus is almost bare now.
Really?
And we're getting good weather, but the West Coast is getting heat.
Oh, really?
Yes, they're having crazy heat waves. Probably the hottest time of year over there right now.
Ooh.
It's always something.
If y'all are over
In
there,
the air here.
good luck.
But yeah, Caroline, you're right. There is a little bit of the night temps have certainly dipped. It is like I'm sitting outside with some pants on and a hoodie at nighttime now.
You throw in some pants. So you don't go outside pantsless. Nice.
No. I mean, in shorts. So, yes.
Wouldn't it be funny if plants had to put on plant hoodies and pants?
You just woke up and they're in hoodies. That'd be crazy.
I mean, sometimes in the early spring, we put blankets on them.
That's true.
That's
we tuck
kind of
them
the
in.
same.
Yeah.
I guess we need to sew them into hoodies then. I don't know what I'm thinking.
I don't either, Tyler.
Yeah.
One time, me and my little brother put a hoodie on a cow.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds cute.
It was cute. It was a baby cow, and it was cold, and we had a hoodie. And we cut the arms out, and we put it on it. It was hilarious now that I think about that.
Pretty sweet, though. Little baby cow.
Yep.
Aw.
Anyway, that went weird.
I enjoyed it, though.
Hoodies on
We've gone
cows.
off the rails a little bit.
We did. It's
in our
okay.
intro.
We're gonna get
and
back
I'm sure
in.
all the listeners are loving it.
Well, y'all were here. Obviously, y'all were here on Saturday. We did the show on Saturday. Y'all felt the people that were out here at the nursery. You can
It
just
was
kind
a
of tell.
busy day, yeah.
It was busy. People are. It's the great time to plant. I mean, moving into the fall. We just got a
Fall's at our doorstep.
huge tree truck today.
Yeah, you're tired from unloading that.
I'm not that tired. I'm gonna be sore tomorrow. That's a big one, y'all. Front to back semi.
We're getting
all the
full.
big
We've had a
stuff.
ton of trucks today. That's how it rolls.
You got a house
Beginning of
plants
fall,
today?
I
A
got
lot of
house plants
today.
A lot of cacti.
Expecting camellia.
Oh yes,
Camellia.
lots of camellia
Almost
tomorrow.
500 camellia will be here.
Speaking of camellia, I was looking at mine yesterday. You know what, y'all, just so you know, once again, Nashville, 7B, Middle Tennessee, we had a couple years ago a horrible freeze event, absolutely horrible, that just whacked our broadleaf evergreens. Well, my camellias were no exception, and they have not bloomed since then. I was looking at them, and they've been leafy, and they've been fine. They definitely took a hit, but they look clean and green. It's really good for this time of year, especially. But there's no flower buds on them at
Really?
all. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, man, I'm getting mad. When are y'all going to bud up?
You're going to pull them
And do
out
your
throw them in
thing.
the woods. I mean, that's what mine are doing, but mine died all the way back to the ground. And then I transplanted them. And they're actually happier in their new home that doesn't get as much sun, but it's been only leaves.
Yeah.
And a lot of leaf growth, but it looks really healthy, pretty, glossy, beautiful.
I know. But it's big, glossy, beautiful is fine. But if you don't bloom, then you're not cool with me.
Well, you're okay with me. I'm fine with it.
No. A camellia that doesn't bloom, come on. It's like a
just getting
hydrangea that
its
doesn't
legs
bloom.
back.
Okay.
It'll be blooming one
So
day soon.
when did it bloom the year before?
The last year it bloomed was the year before 2022 when we were...
What?
Yeah.
You're telling me it hasn't put buds on since then?
Yeah, it has not. I mean, I say that. Maybe a sporadic one or two last year. But no, I'm not seeing any bud formation right now.
You're so mad.
Is it just early? I mean, I've got fall blooming camellias. They should be budding, you would think. It's no fun.
Well, maybe when you get home, you'll see some buds on them.
From yesterday, Caroline.
Perhaps. I'm just trying to be positive here. Keep you up.
It's fine.
It's fine. I'm sure you'll get blooms next year. Mine haven't bloomed in 2 years,
Yeah.
but mine are half a foot tall.
These recovery periods have been insane.
They have.
It's, we're just now starting to see growth on laurels and such that restore confidence in the plant's ability to be a plant again,
I know.
That was a wild time.
It really was.
Wild ride. Well, I did rip out a bunch of my summer veggies. One of my raised beds, I went ahead and pulled tomatoes out, had some beans in there, planted some kale.
Cool. It's that
Some
time.
mustard. Really excited about it. But I couldn't bring myself to pull up the other one because it was still producing so much fruit.
Yeah, if it's producing fruit, got to leave it, I guess. But there's always that fine line where you got to find room,
Well, I need to get the rest of the seeds in.
I know.
So I'm going to have to do it this week. And then I went ahead and weed whacked all of my melons. And when I did that, I found 5 watermelon. Didn't know I had any at all. I thought they did nothing. So I was like, I'm going to whack you down.
That happens all the
They
time.
were
That-
everywhere.
That fruit hides better than any fruit I've ever seen in my life.
It's crazy. The vines didn't even look good. Like the leaves were tiny. They looked terrible. They were like shriveling up. But then there were all these like mature, beautiful watermelons
Nice.
hiding amongst, I don't know where they were hiding. I never saw them until they appeared.
They hung out in melon land
They just hide like
until
crazy.
the time was right.
And it's kind of like what you just said, like with the leaves that look bad, but the fruit's still okay. It's like, think about every pumpkin patch you've ever been to whenever they're ripe. The leaves are awful. There's powdery mildew everywhere. There's insects ravaging them all. The leaves don't look good, but then it's a field full of beautiful pumpkins. Like melons are just kind of like that,
Yes. The vines are
love
like,
pumpkin
we did our
patches.
best.
Yeah.
Go get them.
Go get it.
Yep. And they come to your front door to be carved.
Yes,
And
they
to
do.
be decorations.
We should be getting pumpkins in soon.
You would
Not
think.
quite yet, but it's about that time.
It
I'm
is.
ready for a fall display.
Hey,
getting
speaking
there.
of fruit, though, y'all, small tomato update.
Did you?
Uh-oh.
It started blushing, and I
Hey.
got my first tomato of the year.
Aww.
It's ripening in the window right now.
She's blushing.
Now, are you going to bring it in to share with
No.
Austin like he said?
No,
Tyler,
absolutely not.
we should celebratory slice this together, salt it up, a little bit of pep, and we're gonna eat them together. Like that's a thing, right? Right? Come on, Tyler.
Austin
on.
doesn't have enough
What's
tomatoes.
one more tomato? I got like 5 celebrities in my yard.
Well, that's good, Tyler. I'm really, really happy for you. I'm glad to hear it.
Thanks.
It's been a rough ride.
I'm so glad you're glad to hear it.
Yes.
You got that one tomato. Do you think it's going to produce any more before?
It might. That hornworm did a number on it, though.
Yeah, they do.
All the nubs are just nubbed off. And, there's a little bit of growth at the top. I'm still here for it.
Here for
it's
it.
still bagged and hopefully ready to produce more.
Yeah.
So let's just hope that this weather, this mild, nice, kind of warmish weather continues enough to get another fruit on.
Yeah.
I hope you get one more
Me
or
too.
20 more. That'd be great.
Yeah.
That's not going to
That would be overwhelming.
happen. You wouldn't know what to do with those maters.
Yeah.
It's getting ready to be into the big old harvest season, not just for ornamental or, vegetable growers or whatever, but all the farmers around town, y'all. Things are happening.
The tobacco barns where we live are going wild.
If y'all don't know about tobacco barns smoking, it's something you got to see.
And also-
every year.
If you guys can find a local orchard near you, go and support them and buy their little cute orchardy products, their donuts, their ice creams, their slushies.
Jams and jellies.
Yeah.
Tyler loves jams and jellies.
He does.
He does.
I was just talking to y'all off the radio, off the mic.
Off the hot mic.
Yes, about beach plums.
Yes.
Those of y'all in New England are so fortunate to have those.
Yeah, because before you said that, I'd never in my life heard of beach plums.
Y'all mail
Yeah.
some to Tyler.
Yeah.
Send them to Bates Nursery and Gardens.
And I ain't talking about LaCroix either. Don't drink a LaCroix thinking you're going to get that beach plum flavor.
It's not the same.
No.
I've never had one.
Me neither.
Either of them.
Well, I thought it was just a play on beach bum until I learned about beach plums.
And now you know. And
Now
now
I
you're
know.
enlightening us. And
Yeah.
I'm sure some of our listeners, I'm sure a lot of them already knew about that.
I'm going to out myself too. I thought I identified a tree as a sea grape. However, I am partial idiot.
You're not an idiot.
You're not an idiot.
It looked very similar.
Yes.
So
it had a big kind of rounded leaf with some red veining in it. It was very glossy and young looking.
Yes. Just so y'all know, Tyler showed me this picture before we went on.
And he was very excited.
He was very excited. He was like, Austin, I found a sea grape in Hendersonville. I'm like, a sea grape? We are landlocked and we get cold for sea grapes. And he was like, no, I swear, look at it. And he showed me the picture, and it was a cottonwood tree. But that's okay, y'all. There's all the time things things look like other things in nature.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And one thing I learned from you when I started here at the nursery is how, like, the coffee plants, for instance, that I get up in house plants, they don't have the same leaves when they come out. Like, as they mature, the leaves change. The same with my sycamore trees.
Yeah, and that's really all.
Or I meant to say hickory trees, but I guess a lot of stuff.
That's all seeds. They always have their seed leaves first, and then after that, the true leaves will form, and they can look, like you said, wildly different.
Completely different. So it's hard to tell.
Happens all the time. And then
Tyler,
also,
I would have made the same mistake. And you love those fruiting plants, so I get your excitement.
I care about being accurate too and learned. And when the way that I choose or try to find information fails me, it's kind of like, oh man,
it's okay.
But
it's okay.
You want to have confidence, but it's hard to believe. Like, you can download one of those plant apps. I didn't use a plant app, by the way. I did use Apple's built-in photo learning software that tries to identify stuff. And I would say like 80-90% of the time it's accurate.
What did it say? Did you use it for this?
Sea grape.
It did say sea grape.
Yeah. Oh. But it also suggested poplar.
Yeah.
As well.
Well, cottonwood is a true poplar.
Okay, there it is. There it is.
I did not know that.
So I wanted it to be sea grapes more than I wanted it to be a poplar because of the sea grapes.
But the key...
That's my bias.
I know.
Bias.
The key with any good identifier of plants is to take in a lot of different forms and shapes and habits, and not just looking at, say, one single leaf. Like, it's very even hard for even me, who's done this for his whole career, to look at a single leaf.
He's a champion fruit and nut judger, y'all.
Yes, he is. He has a plaque.
Thanks for that, Tyler. But anyway, the like a single leaf can look like so many other single leaves. Like, when I identify a tree or a plant, you cannot just look at one leaf. You look at the form, you look at the height, you look at the overall size, girth, bark, when they're dormant, bare stems, bare buds. I don't know why I just thought of Air Buds, the movie. Well, I do know why, because it rhymes.
You distracted yourself.
But yeah, like
Air Buds with bears.
See, and I get very frustrated with customers that just bring a single leaf out here, and they'll get upset with me if I can't just like identify right off the bat. And I'm like, man, so many look alike. Like, give me more things to look at, okay? And I can be very helpful. I love identifying plants more than anything, but I just need a lot, I need a number of things.
You're very good at it.
Well, thank you.
And you get really excited about it.
You're right.
So, yeah, check your confidence if you're going by one source or one identifier with your plants. And let's just talk about community here for a second. Build y'all a community where everybody is not afraid to make mistakes and support each other and figure out the truth.
That's right.
In the right way.
No one knows everything about plants or anything.
Definitely. That is a great point. And nor will we ever.
No, we're always learning together.
Constantly. And I love to learn. I can't stand the plant snobs that are like, oh, you didn't know that or something. I'm like, come on, man. Like, we're in this together. We're all plant people. Like, let's all be cool with each other. If I know something you don't know, then I want you to learn it. And then if you know something I don't, I certainly want you to tell me. Like, it's just, yeah. It's just... Don't be a plant snob.
Don't be a plant snob.
Don't do it.
We need shirts.
We should make that shirt.
It's going to be our first shirt here at Gardening Inside Out. Don't be a plant snob.
Yeah, forget the shirts that are named after the show.
Well, that's going to be on the shirt too, Tyler. Duh.
Speaking of the show, y'all, it was a fun show this last week, and we kept it. I mean, very informative from start to finish. Really packed full of a lot of questions. You can just tell, like I said, as I started the show, like there's a switch in the air. And people are ready to get back into it.
Yes.
They are. It's time to start digging.
We had a great mix of live questions, which we have a lot from Instagram that come in the day before. But the live ones are always nice, and we get to respond in real time, and they get to chime in on what we're actively talking about.
Speaking of Instagram, Caroline, tell them what we did. Your idea, we put it together. What happened?
Oh, so we've had this huge euphorbia in the houseplant greenhouse for 2 years now, and it's become too tall, unmanageable, pretty much, I mean, I would say unsafe. If anybody tried to bring it into their house, it's just going to fall over.
Looks like a massive cactus,
and
y'all.
weighs a lot. Yes, looks like a massive cactus. We treat it the same, and we cut it. We made a little reel. We cut it into 3 different parts. We're going to prop the 2 top pieces. And then the base, the original plant, will start pushing some new arms, and we'll have a new short little healthy plant.
We did, but there's...
You want us to talk about...
Y'all, that little video we did, which we didn't even think anything, we just did it, just to get that info out. Y'all, 500,000 views on Insta. What is that? That is crazy to me. It's the biggest thing we've ever done.
Because you go wild with the Sawzall.
No, it's all of us. There's 4 of us in there. Even Mac and Owen made the cut.
Well, there's actually 5.
Oh, because
and Kayla.
Kayla got in the background.
Kayla's in the background, too. Shout out to Kayla.
Tyler was
one of our great cashiers.
I didn't get mad. I was just like,
Kayla, get out of the shot.
Yeah. It was hilarious.
Well, she was just like, what are y'all doing?
And it's great. Well, she didn't know. She thought it was something fun and exciting, which it was. But you should definitely go to the Bates Nursery Instagram. Check out that video.
Yeah.
We're going to have a part 2 where we show you how to replant it, how to propagate it, and how to care for it.
Sweet. We actually showed it on the show last week.
We did.
So you can watch that live on that if you wanted to.
Yes, you can.
Or just
pull
pull up the Insta. I know that's probably easier.
That's way easier.
Yeah.
I don't know.
do that
You might
stuff.
want to see us for a solid hour.
Yeah. I mean, it's buried in like 15 minutes of stuff, so.
That's true.
All right.
But I guess it's about time to get into this week's broadcast. We were all here, the 3 of us, with Josh Carey and David Bates. Like Austin said, it was lively. Tyler said we had a lot of questions from all platforms, so enjoy. So let's start with some annual questions. The seasons are changing. As we discussed, it's cooling off. We have the first question is it too late to cut back impatiens to get them to bloom more?
Hey, what a good question. Cutting back annuals. Something that we all should be doing more that we don't. They get leggy. They get a little tired this time of year. And yeah, giving them a great cutback right now, they still have enough time to rebloom for you. So yeah, go ahead. It's close. You're right. It's close. And they may not give you that full bloom again. And honestly, what you could do is, like, if you don't want to cut them back, like, it's pansy season time now. So if you wanted to just switch out for pansies, you might think about doing that.
You love pansies.
I do love pansies. And I said a little line the other day that I was so proud of. It just came to me. And I was like, you need to get them in now so we get them leafy and beefy.
Yeah.
And that way they keep blooming through the winter.
He ran into
that make
the
sense?
houseplant greenhouse and was like, Caroline, I
was so
just
happy.
came up with the new tagline.
I told everybody.
Have you put that on the refrigerator at home yet so you could...
I'm going to have to.
We need a new sticker.
Tyler, make new stickers. Get the sticker gang.
Okay, add it to the pile.
But I'm with you on that, because the secret to having great pansies over the winter is not waiting until your summer annuals look bad.
Yeah.
It's time to get those out, really soon. Get the pansies in, and of course, if you're going to plant bulbs in with them, you got to do that at the same time to really keep from disturbing things, and it makes for one absolutely spectacular springtime show.
It does. And you know what's funny about pansies is it's kind of the same thing as in the spring. It's like right now we have to kind of get rid of those tired summer annuals to put in pansies. In the springtime, we have to get rid of those tired pansies, and actually not even tired, like still okay looking pansies to get our summer stuff in.
That's always, I think, the tougher one, because pansies are looking so strong in May, and you go,
I'm not going to pull them.
You got to get rid of them.
You got to make room for the summer stuff.
Well, you've always said that they're very misnamed.
They're not pansies at all.
Not at all.
No.
They are so hardy.
They're very tough. I don't know how the term pansy got connected with something that was in any way less than, but they weren't talking about the plants.
No.
Because they are quite tough. They can handle the cold weather.
They're so cool when they've got snow on them.
They're real pretty.
That's awesome.
They survive. Hey, our next question comes from Miriam. Good morning, Miriam. Hi.
Love you.
When is it time to say goodbye to my petunias? I love them so. My misty lilacs are looking fantastic right now. I'm not ready to pull them up. I'm going to wait.
Too. In pansies, petunias rather, are another very cold weather tolerant annual. So that's where it's most difficult, because... But it also, if you are going to do pansies, it really creates the greatest conflict, because they're going to still be looking good, and you're going to be taking them out. So it's just the way it is.
And the thing with petunias right now is that if they are looking leggy and tired, like David just said, they're a very cool season annual. Like they can handle some cold. So if you did marry them, give those a good cutback, like to the top of the dirt pretty much, they're going to reshoot leaves and reshoot blooms, and those blooms will last.
Are you going to do that with yours?
I've already done that. I did it like a month ago.
Are you going to do it again?
No, I don't need to. They look perfect.
That's the deal. It's timing.
Yes.
A month ago was the time.
And now they look like little shrubs. I mean, they're really, really pretty.
When are you pulling yours up?
I'm not going to.
You're going to leave them up all winter?
For a while, yeah. I don't usually plant pansies in that spot. It's too big. It's too much.
Too much work.
Yeah. The petunias spread and they get crazy, like big. Like my pansies, I got to put like 1 million of them in the same spot.
Wild.
Yeah, I'm too cheap for that.
That's true. Well, our next comment, it's not really a question, is about Austin that says, tell Austin that now is the time to plant pansies.
You ain't got to tell me that. Who said that?
That was Lee.
Lee. What's up, Lee? I love you.
Good morning, Lee.
It's good to hear from you. But I know, Lee, I've been saying this. Yes, it's pansy time. People ask me, like, is it too early for pansies? I'm like, the growers have been growing the pansies to get them ready for us for the past, like, month.
Austin, y'all, don't hold back. Say what you feel.
Yell into that microphone. So wild.
Look, I love Lee, so I'm not going to... Lee,
we
you're
know
cool.
you do. I think Lee loves you as well.
Lee, come out and get some pansies.
Now, we have another thing about...
See Joyce's comment?
Not yet, because we have a whole Austin section right now.
Oh, gosh.
Austin loves
He's blushing. Here we go.
Not blushing yet.
Pretty pleased with the cherry on top. Tell us why Austin's nickname is Kev. I'm dying to know that story.
Secret.
Alter ego.
It's my alter ego. That's as far as we can go.
But it's only when he's making deliveries, and that's been a while.
That's been a while, yeah. Yeah, there for a while. Okay, so Kev came about because I was a fill-in delivery guy. You know, we all have to pull, around out here and, like, help out where we're needed.
Yes.
And at that point in my life, I was needed in that truck. And whenever I'm on that road...
You're Kev.
Last man standing right now. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
There, Austin.
It was as much to help us identify who was in the truck and what and where did Austin go. Kev's out on delivery, so that's what that's all about.
Yeah, watch out if Kev's bringing you a delivery. Get kind of wild.
Also, when you're like cutting stuff,
yeah, just getting wild in general.
Yeah,
that's
his wild name. All right, so Joyce did ask, I can't do pansies. What is an alternative?
Can't do pansies.
She just can't do pansies.
Joyce.
I love pansies and violas.
I saw you yesterday. Why can't you do pansies? I'm confused.
Maybe she doesn't like how they look.
Joyce surely loves pansies. Right?
Joyce, let us know.
Joyce, tell us now in the comments, like now, like live. Like, why can't
We're
you do
just going to
pansies?
sit here in silence
What's up
while we
with that?
wait for you to comment.
Yeah.
Just kidding. We're not going to do that.
We didn't even have a plant sale going on yesterday in Joyce's
Now,
out
while
here.
we wait for Joyce's response, we have multiple questions asking when the Isley truck will be here. We got a live question. We got him in last night.
Okay. Good question. I talked to Julie yesterday, our buyer of all of our plants, who's fantastic. We love you, Jules. It is coming in not next week, but the week after, supposedly on Monday.
Right.
What?
Joyce's response.
So, yes, Isley, next
week,
this coming up Monday
week.
Y'all get ready
Yes.
for Japanese maple. I mean, when that truck arrives, everyone at the nursery wants to help unload.
It's not unusual, in all seriousness, for us to have 15 or 20 people just hanging around.
Yeah. When we're unloading it.
Watching the truck being unloaded because, and in honesty, they don't want to be here bad enough to come in on their day off. But if they get here on a Monday and Austin and Caroline are off, they're disappointed because a little disappointed.
Always on a Monday.
It's always on,
I know,
because
I might have to come in that
They
Monday.
ship out on a Friday, and then they come from the West Coast, and then they're here on Monday. So that's just the way it happens to work. So.
And what's funny, I'm not even the exception. There's been a few Mondays over the years that I've worked here where I've come in to see the Isley truck on my day off. Just to see it.
You're so committed.
I am.
It gets more oohs and ahs
per
plant than anything else.
We should live stream that. No, we shouldn't. That might get too wild.
No, we should. Tyler, you get that going. Okay?
Tyler, you got to come in on a
Film
Monday
us.
now.
Okay.
And then we can get GoPros for all
Toss
the
it on the pile.
unloaders.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yes, Tyler, go ahead and get on Amazon, start some shopping, get some GoPros.
It's going
But
on
let's
the
go
pile.
ahead and get to what Joyce's response was. Joyce says, yuck, pansies.
Oh, my God. Joyce.
Them's fighting words for Kev.
Oh,
Shocking.
you have shocked me. Yes. Joyce, I'm amazed by this. I'm speechless.
Okay, then violas. Plant those.
She probably doesn't like violas either.
I know, I'm joking.
Although I like those better than pansies, but
They're more.
I mean, Dusty Miller, but that's not going to bloom.
They're
Mine stayed
much
up all
more
winter.
cold weather tolerant.
Yeah.
Violas are. They'll go down at least 10 degrees colder and without damage to them at all. I've never seen violas freeze out, but pansies can if it's cold enough.
Well, maybe that's why she
normally
says yuck pansies. Maybe
Ornamental
she could go
greens.
with
I just
violas.
There you go.
taking it back.
Austin's just shot. He might not be able to answer any more questions
how
today.
could you look at beautiful, cute little flowers and be like, yuck?
All the colors.
All the colors.
All the colors.
Yeah. Joyce.
I think it's okay, Joyce. I support
Okay.
this.
I'm okay with anything Joyce does because she's cool. But she doesn't like pansies.
She's cool.
The emotional Austin camera.
All right, let's get to some more questions because we got so many. My honeysuckle never bloomed this year. It was planted in early June. Am I just being impatient? Probably.
Yeah.
That's kind of a
Getting
theme.
those roots established.
It is. It happens. Like sometimes new plantings just don't bloom on the first season. It's just kind of part of it.
They
that's
are
okay.
a sun plant, by the way.
Yes.
They'll grow in the shade, but you're not going to get flowers in the shade. Not very many, so just FYI.
Yes.
Keep them away from the chain link fence.
They can run.
You'll never get it out.
You'll never get it out.
But you know what? Yes. Just be patient. Next summer, they're going to be blooming.
They're gonna go
Trust me.
wild.
Yep.
All right, way overgrown crepe myrtles. Is it too early to prune? Should I wait for October temps? Really hate them big, is what they said.
Well, I've got a similar scenario where I've got a two big.
You've been
crepe
talking
myrtle.
about pruning this crepe myrtle for 2 years now.
Not 2 years. Just last year. Just once. We and Tyler never got it done. We're doing it this year. But no, yeah, you're right. It's a little bit too early. Let's let them finish up, okay? They're probably still blooming, to be honest. And then they still have some leaves. Mine have shed some leaves, and they're starting to shed a little bit. But yeah, too early to prune. Let them go truly dormant over the winter. We are going to prune them up. And I can help you with that if you need help on how to get that done properly.
But just for shaping, you don't
Yeah.
really want to cut. If you're going to cut a crepe myrtle hard, wait until after the worst of the winter is over because they are susceptible to freeze back damage. And if they get freeze damage and you have to cut them back and you've already cut them back, that means you may have to cut them back again. So
Exactly.
just
I sure
more
hope my
efficient.
wife is listening today.
It is a thing. So, I encourage, you get these little balls on the ends of crepe myrtles. Those are just little seed pods. Just shear those off. It makes it look a little nicer, perhaps. So it cleans it up a lot. Maybe you cut it a little heavier than that. But other than that, just be patient.
yeah.
Yeah, patience and gardening, that's a big thing.
It's one of the biggest.
Timing.
Hey, Joyce got back to us.
Joyce.
Joyce said that's the problem. Too many colors.
Well, then just, Joyce, stick with one color that you love and roll with it.
Just
like,
What's your favorite football team?
like,
No.
What color?
That wouldn't work. No.
Joyce,
No.
just get a pot and fill it with just white pansies.
Oh, beautiful.
It's stunning.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Joyce,
Or
you can't
black
say me you wouldn't
pansies.
love
Go
that.
goth.
Orange.
Black pansies are cool to look at close, but you can't see them from a distance.
I
they don't
love them.
I mean, if you've got a planter right by the walkway, but driving down the highway, they will get no attention.
That's
But
true. You
but
won't see them.
White pansies will show up.
Yeah. Come on, Joyce.
That's
Don't mix
true.
colors. I don't like to do that all that much either.
Oh.
Just
Joyce,
pick
keep,
one.
keep
Pick
us
one and roll
updated.
with
Keep
it.
talking about
Joyce
these
is on a tear
pansies.
this morning.
Joyce, stay on that tear. And we already talked about black pansies, so let's stay on the black topic. Trees are covered with this black sticky stuff.
Oh, man.
It's getting everywhere under them. Help. This is a
Join the club.
reoccurring question. It's
Y'all.
a popular thing.
The woolly aphids this year woolly aphids are out every year, but this year it seems heavy, doesn't it? Don't y'all feel
Yes.
like?
Yes, it
I mean,
seems
around the
worse than
nursery, they're
usual.
everywhere. They're flying in beards and like.
Oh, yeah.
Mac
Our bag
up your
loader
neck.
Mac has
Mac.
giant hair, and I would say he usually has about 20, 25 aphids in his hair all day.
Yesterday, I leaf blowed Mac's hair. He shook his hair out because he had so many woolly aphids in it. I was leaf blowing him. So that's what you're seeing, okay? This is the woolly aphids.
He could be called Woolly just himself because he is a woolly kind of guy.
He's hilarious. I love that guy.
Yeah,
but
Mac
anyway,
is great.
we don't love the woolly aphids, and that's what's happening, y'all. The hackberry trees are black. Crepe myrtles are black. And
Anything near them is black.
is black, yes. And it's just been a heavy year for that. And it's a really hard thing to discuss on how to get rid of that. But just because if you get rid of it on your tree, that doesn't mean your neighbors neighbor's not going to have a hackberry tree that's got a million woolly aphids too. So it's something we're all dealing with right now. I've had to go through the car wash twice in like a week because of how bad my truck's getting, because of where we park around our trees.
You went through twice?
Twice.
That's big
Twice.
for you.
That's a lot. Car washes are expensive, man.
Yeah,
I
I
paid
know, I
like
spent-
$25
That's what I paid the other day to bring mine through.
for the stupid woolly aphids.
I know, they're the worst. Hey,
a great
Lisa
family.
Smith
Yeah, go
on
ahead.
Lisa Smith on Facebook votes white for Joyce's pansy colors, and Joyce also says, let's hop back to the Gardening Inside Out page. I think Joyce is with white as well.
Maybe.
See,
She
Joyce?
says
Maybe
all white.
Yeah.
And then she says, "Oh, I don't love Crape Myrtle either." Joyce is on a tear.
You're so mad.
Get it, Joyce.
You're so mad.
Joyce, I will say I don't love Crape Myrtle, and I finally planted one last year, and it hasn't bloomed. So I'm back to not liking them.
No.
I thought I did, and I've
dark
returned.
foliage
gonna
on
bloom
some,
next
the
year.
new ones with the dark foliage.
I do have the like
Oh,
almost
God.
black foliage on mine, which I love. It's planted with my purple blue stem and St. John's wort. Looks good, but no blooms.
It's never a bad time of year to add Earth Mix to your garden. Earth Mix garden products are sustainably sourced, living soils and amendments crafted to give you the best success for your gardening efforts. Establishing a raised bed? Use Garden Premium Topsoil Blend for an excellent performing growing medium for flowers and vegetables. Amend your gardens with their supernatural compost, with all the nutrients needed to recharge existing soils. For houseplants, their Proganics Indoor Grow Mix is a fantastic potting medium that will feed for up to 6 months without the need for additional fertilizer. Earth Mix is sold only at independent garden centers, so head over to earthmix.net/find Earthmix to locate one near you. Success begins at the ground level when you use Earth Mix garden products.
Hey, Joyce
okay.
does say she does like Earth Mix,
Yes,
though.
she does.
Of course she
Joyce
does.
likes Earth Mix. Everybody loves
She comes
Earth
in and buys
Mix.
her plants and always gets a bag or two or something.
I'm getting Earth Mix today. I'm buying Landscape today.
I loaded some bags for you the other day, Joyce. You're welcome.
You're welcome for that. He got tired after that.
No, I didn't.
Hey, and then Risha said, I did a white pansies with bluish white pansies in a gray pot. It turned out beautiful.
Yeah, Reesh knows. Reesh, what's
Reesh
up?
does know.
Butterfly bush, Reesh. You know pansies.
Yeah.
Joyce.
Yes, she does. And speaking of pansies and us knowing stuff, I mean, there's still stuff going around. I know we're going into fall. It's almost winter time. Stuff is blooming everywhere.
Almost
There's
winter?
trees.
Is
You know what? I'm
what?
just killing time while Tyler gets that button pushed.
With Austin.
Thanks, Tyler.
You're welcome, bro.
You actually hate to have to say push the button.
Push
Tyler.
the button. Maybe that's what I'll start doing.
You have no idea
the button.
what's
Tyler.
going on over here.
It's all good. Y'all, things are still blooming. You
Doing
know,
great, Tyler.
we're going to start with blue, okay? Reesh just said something about blue. The blue mistflower, ageratum, our native ageratum on the sides of the interstates and stuff. They're in bloom, okay? Echinacea and black-eyed Susan still going.
Yep.
Just about
Your
done, though. Y'all
favorites.
need to get out and deadhead those black yuck blooms.
Or
all right,
leave 'em.
Heliopsis. What do you even know about Heliopsis? We got some right there. Caroline's
Yep.
going to talk about it soon. Coreopsis, another is. Sedum, still going. Hey, you know what, Caroline? You made fun of me this spring because I said yucca was in bloom, and I was like, hey, yucca also reblooms in the fall. And you
I
were
have
like,
never
"What?"
had mine rebloom.
Well, they're blooming. Look around town.
I will. I'll
Open
make
up
sure you're
them
not
eyes.
lying right now.
I ain't lying. Y'all look around. Yucca's blooming, okay? That's weird, but it's doing it again. Hey, Bridge, you're back. We love you. Grasses are in bloom. We brought a grass in here.
Yes.
The
What is it?
Fancy.
Pampas grass?
Pampas, that's what it is. That's in
got
bloom.
attitude.
Sunflowers.
It does
the
have quite the
mildly
attitude.
arrogant.
Yes.
Yes,
Pampas
exactly.
grass.
They kind of are. Sunflowers still going, okay? Still looking great. Hydrangeas, y'all know. Paniculatas, they're still going, looking good. Encore azaleas showing up a little bit. I'm noticing those around town. They'll rebloom. That's cool. Roses, still going. Reesh, your butterfly bush, still blooming, I bet, because I bought it for you. Vitex, still in bloom if you cut it back. If you didn't cut it back, it's probably just going to seed. Hey, y'all know what I saw this morning?
What'd you
What?
see?
You know what I saw? I saw a crepe myrtle and I saw a Rose of Sharon gossiping with a morning mimosa.
Oh. We're
Wow.
that.
That on the way in. Sorry, that was my joke. That was my joke. It wasn't great.
I think
okay.
it's fantastic.
Thanks,
Oh,
Tyler. The
there
button.
it
You
is.
pushed the button. Thank you.
The studio audience is
Yes.
going crazy.
Great. All right, let's talk about some vines that are blooming. Okay, clematis still blooming. Sweet autumn clematis, specifically that white one
That
that
one is
smells
going
good. That's kind of
crazy.
invasive. That some people like, some people don't. It's in bloom, like full bloom, covered, looking great. Morning glories are annoying, but they're blooming. Crossvine, Caroline, yes.
Mine looks fantastic right
I'm
now.
sure it does.
Are
Okay.
you jealous?
No. Honeysuckle.
Like it.
Honeysuckle is still blooming. Okay. The natives, Joe Pye weed, ironweed, goldenrod, and then, hey, y'all, it's fall. It's not really fall, but it's getting there. Asters, mums, pansies. Joyce, come buy some pansies today. The white ones. I know you'll love it.
Joyce, just come look at the white pansies.
Yes. I'll load a bag or two. There you go. That's what's in bloom, y'all. That's what's blooming.
Very cool.
You know,
Yes.
and it is meteorological fall.
Oh, good.
As far as, I don't know how much credit that meteorologists get
Actually
for.
take for
well,
it,
they
yeah.
just say September 1st is the meteorological fall. So
Well, fall's in the air, and there's a bunch of it on my lawn too.
yes,
So I mean,
it's definitely the weather is wonderful today, and we'll take it. And I'm sure it has a lot more people wanting answers to their questions.
Yes.
That Caroline has the list of.
I have the list of them. Hey, we got some live questions in. The first one comes in from Scotty. Scotty asks, if you have a green giant yellowing on some branches, what is the best way to bring it back to health?
Interesting. Yellow on some branches. I'd like to see this a little bit. I mean, it might be nutrient deficient. Typically, yellowing is a sign of not enough nitrogen in the soil. That could be. So
Could it be dry?
It could be that. It could be, depending on the placement of those limbs. If they're lower down, there could be a Great Dane in the
Yes.
neighborhood.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's not unheard of.
yeah.
So,
What David's saying is like literally physically breaking of a stem. Like if a stem just
I
breaks a little.
I was thinking
you
of
mean not what he was
chemical damage is what I'm thinking
Now I get
of.
it. Yes, you're right. That could be a problem.
Now I
too.
get it. Hey, Scotty, you can email that photo to gardeninginsideout@gmail.com. If you have time to send it in before the end of the show, we can at least look at it. We won't
Yes.
be able to put it up on the screen, but we can give you more insight. And then Diane says, is it too late to transplant hosta and spiderwort? No, I am waiting to transplant my hosta. Remember when we did that poll?
Yeah.
I'm doing it. I'm splitting up. I'm dividing the striptease, and she's going into a side bed.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, you got plenty of time.
Plenty. I mean, you got the whole winter, pretty much.
All right, we got more live questions in. One coming from Bill. Bill says, good morning. I've got some stressed dogwoods that are dropping leaves early. What steps do you recommend to help them out?
Bill, I've been seeing this as well. I just noticed a tree actually yesterday on my way home of a dogwood out in the middle of the yard that's starting to go color change, which is a little early, but not too early. It's pretty typical, but definitely some leaf loss. And I've seen a lot of trees around town that are just, a little tired. They're just a little tired, and they're going to drop those leaves a little bit early. There's probably nothing wrong with your tree at all.
And you will see it's not unusual. They'll tell you before they're getting ready to do that because the leaves start pointing down. I mean, you'll see them start to begin to flag. So when you see that, you can get out there and water to help revitalize. That'll push it out a little further. And obviously, they are deciduous. It will not keep it from happening altogether, but it will delay it.
Yeah.
And you
And-
may hang on to those colorful leaves longer.
And that's the thing is that most of the leaves you're going to see that are dropping are going to be dropping from the interior of the plant.
Yeah.
So most of the exterior of the plant is still going to color up real nice, that maroon color that we all love with dogwoods, which dogwoods are
Mine is starting already.
Yeah, all of them are pretty much. And they're, dogwoods are known for their early spring show, which is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. But their fall color is really something to be noted.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a good tree for
And
that.
if you look closely, you'll see your buds that'll be there for next spring because
Yep.
they're already forming. They're small right now, but
Yep.
they are there. So
And that's a good point to note that we're not going to do any wintertime pruning on a
No.
dogwood because all those buds, like David just said, are forming now. So anything you cut, you're going to cut off some of your flower show. So if you do want to cut your dogwood, which typically you don't have to, they're so slow and they stay small. There's no real reason to cut. But if for some reason you plant it in the wrong spot and it's got a limb going over your sidewalk or something like that, let's do our pruning right after they bloom, and that way you won't lose any of
And
that
that
flower
rule-
power.
And that rule
Can't have
applies to almost everything that flowers. If you really don't know when to prune it, right after it flowers is a good time, unless it's a fruiting plant.
Yes.
And then you won't get fruit.
Oh, that would be so sad.
Yeah, what's the point?
What is the point? You sounded like Batman when you said that.
Sorry. Sorry, there's something in my throat. Don't call me out.
Yeah,
What's the point?
Yeah, Caroline got a shout out from James. She wants Caroline, who is a featured teacher from Bates at all fall gardening classes at Cheek.
Yes, I will be
Bravo,
teaching
bravo,
a
bravo.
couple gardening classes at Cheekwood in
Well.
October.
Nice.
It's going to be exciting. I cannot remember the dates off the top of my head. Could be October 5th, but I'm doing a class on houseplants and then houseplant propagation.
Cool.
There you go.
Come on out.
And I bet you that euphorbia gets featured somewhere in all of
I
that.
think it probably will.
It should.
Absolutely. It's going to be a fun time. Mm-hmm. So
and where we
thank you,
made
Jane.
that cut on that euphorbia, are you going to cut like angles down to where the straight cuts went, or
No.
you let that callus? You're just going to let it callus
Just let it
off?
callus over.
And then stick it in some
They're
dirt?
so easy to propagate.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it's going to callus for a week, 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and
you
then
just
we'll
can't be in a
plant it.
hurry. And
Right.
you got to
And it
have
might
dry
rot.
conditions to do that.
Yes,
cool.
you do. Hey, we've got quite a few questions about transplanting plants. And the three that we are getting the questions about that we're going to discuss is roses, hydrangea, and phlox. People are just asking best time to transplant them. Can I transplant creeping phlox in the fall?
Yes, of course. I mean, in like late fall into the winter, like during dormancy, we try to just say this word is dormancy, okay? So whenever things are not growing, they're chilling, literally chilling over the wintertime is whenever you're typically going to move your stuff,
Think
okay?
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Great
Yeah,
day
get your
to do it.
family in to help you out. Get them roses out.
Yeah, Thanksgiving, I'll get out in that yard.
You know, it's strange. We're having it over at your house this year.
Yeah.
Oh, I see you got some new shovels. Yeah, get out here in the yard before we eat.
Earn your supper.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Before you eat, that's the key.
Yeah, before you eat,
Afterwards,
y'all go
you're
out there,
useless.
You
transplant.
get nothing.
I'm about to transplant a lot of things, and I am waiting until the weather cools down a little bit and stuff goes dormant. All right, what landscape plants do you stock in February? Is there anything that can be planted?
Almost
So much.
everything.
We stay stocked. People get asked this question all the time. When do y'all close for the winter time or whatever? We're like, we
We do
don't.
not.
We don't. And in February, we actually have a pretty good select. You know what? One thing comes to mind in February, hellebore.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
shade-loving, evergreen perennial. We buy them by the hundreds, like literally hellebore
They
in the
fly
early spring.
out the door.
That's not necessarily a shrub, but
That's probably one of the first plants that we get in, right?
yeah, I mean,
When they're
for, like,
prime.
some say there ain't no cure for the summertime blues. But we say Bates Nursery is. Located in Nashville, Tennessee, Bates Nursery and Garden Center is a separate world unto itself. They feature the widest variety of plants, including trees, shrubs, native plants, perennials, houseplants, and specimen evergreens. Their knowledgeable staff will assist you with any gardening needs, catering to any experience level. Open year-round, and Caroline, tell them how to get here.
Bates Nursery is located minutes from downtown Nashville off Briley Parkway, exit 19 in beautiful Whites Creek, Tennessee. You'll see it's worth the drive from anywhere. No time to visit the nursery? Shop online with delivery and pickup options available for the greater Middle Tennessee area at www.batesnursery.com.
So if you want to learn a lot about living and a little about love, visit Bates Nursery and Garden Center, beautifying Nashville since 1932.
Let's get back to our questions. How long before I need to plant after buying outdoor shrubs?
Oh, you mean like after you plant them and bring them home? I mean, it's recommended to try to get them planted as quick as you can, I guess. But as long as you keep the pots moist, y'all, we've had plants out. Sometimes we have plants that don't sell for like 2 years.
Yeah.
And they'll sit in their pots. All we do is give them water.
And we do it on pavement.
Yeah.
by
Oh,
the way.
It's just a lot of maintenance, a lot of
Yeah.
work for you. To not
Yeah, it's just more water. I mean, you have to water them more if they're up above the ground. But, I don't know what to say. Like, you can get them home and plant them. If not, then just make sure you water them whenever
Yeah.
they're on top of the dirt.
take care of them. I've had some plants in pots for quite a while. I'd say years. You've had some plants in pots for probably 20 years on your driveway
my
that you haven't
God.
planted. So,
Dramatic.
So you've got time to.
It's only been
I
15,
planted pots, I
Caroline.
planted plants in pots
only
on
15
purpose. I
years.
mean, I've got several in pots that are going to stay there as long as we can keep them there.
Yeah, they
Well, let's
do
think
just
about
fine.
houseplants for a minute. I mean, we
Yeah.
keep houseplants in pots for decades, or you can. So anything can live in a pot for a while. You just have to give more effort.
Just more maintenance. My Annabelles look like trash.
Yeah.
Will cutting them back now affect them
Wow.
in the spring?
No, it won't.
Wow. Yeah.
Now, I've noticed this. Annabelles are certainly getting to that point.
That noise was you agreeing with it.
Well, yes, kind of, because we turn so dry. Like David a lot of time talks about his Annabelles and how he likes to keep them, up, and like the blooms will stay faded, but not necessarily like brown or black. This year, y'all, we haven't had a lot of rainfall to keep those blooms kind of still okay. So I've noticed a ton of Annabelles that are like literally brown, almost black, and they look bad. Go ahead and cut them off. If you don't like it, cut it off.
If you don't like it, cut it off. Yeah. But it won't affect it next year?
No, it's not going to affect it next year. You could even do another prune over the winter if you wanted to shorten a little. If you just want to clean up the blooms, like that's one thing. But then over the winter, if you want to shorten even more when they're dormant, you can do that as well. And it's totally fine for an Annabelle. They bloom off new wood. Even if you cut it to the dirt, they're going to come up and bloom next season. So don't worry so much about the pruning on those.
Don't you worry. Hey, Tyler, we've got some photos. Are we ready to throw those?
I don't know. Are we ready? Well, first we need to address one that we missed last week.
Okay.
Dina.
Hey,
Sorry, we didn't get your armadillo issue. That's not the right camera.
We did not forget about you, Dina.
Hey, I will say really fast, we got, I believe, 2 questions about armadillos this week. So that seems like something that's happening. I'm actually having that issue for the first time ever. I have 4 of them in my garden beds.
Too.
All right, so here's the bed.
Okay.
Sorry.
Armadillo ravage.
Yeah.
Looks just like mine.
Don't you?
Hasn't touched the dianthus, though, and a couple other plants, which is interesting.
That is interesting.
They're not really eating the plants, though. They're looking for grubs.
Yeah.
They look for grubs, yeah. They're just disturbing the root system.
Night crawlers, worms. They eat all manner of things. And one of the things that we've noticed, my brother has a lot of issues with. Now he traps them, and he's got a guy that'll actually come and get them. We won't go into that story, but they're there just to eat. And if you've had dry conditions and then it rains, they're going to show up because all of a sudden the ground conditions have gotten a lot easier for digging, and they're gosh, what diggers!
Yeah,
they're like little Sherman tanks
Yeah.
with diggers in the front, and they're very tough. And
they can jump high too, folks. Don't fool yourself.
Really?
You sneak up
if you
on
honk
them.
a horn on them, they can jump 6 feet in the air.
I want to do that really badly.
Well, they're at my house every night. You
Yes,
can hear them out in the yard.
Okay, I'm coming to honk horns.
I think it
Come
should
honk
be.
horns at my house.
There should be like
my dogs will be so mad at you.
Armadillo skeet shooting competition where you honk the horn, get them airborne. You got to shoot them while they're in the air.
Oh my God.
That's a great idea. Okay, we're going to do
That'd be so sad. Hey, but our question on
They're highly invasive.
Yeah,
and they're
that's true.
moving ever further north. I used to think they only lived in Texas.
I know.
Not anymore.
No, they're here. They actually got under my house a few years ago, and in the middle of the night, we heard them destroying part of our ductwork. It was great. So the question we got, or one of them, is how do I get rid of them? So I think you said, I guess, catch and take them somewhere.
Yeah,
might be the only way.
They're considered a pest in the state of Tennessee.
They absolutely
so I think
are.
they can be
here and everywhere else, I suspect.
Will they move on after some time, or do they?
We scared ours
quite
away.
prolific breeders too. So I mean,
one thing you could try, so long as you have no vegetative crops that you try to harvest, is there are insecticides you can apply to the soil that will kill off the things that they're in there to dig after. So if you have fruiting plants, you don't want to do that because these are things that could be toxic, and the plants will draw them up, and it'll be in the fruit that you would be wanting to harvest. So if you've got figs or strawberries or apples, whatever, you don't want to do that if you've got fruiting plants. But if it's all ornamental, you could try that approach, and it will certainly reduce it because they'll figure out pretty quick, well, there's nothing here.
Yeah.
We're going to move on down the street.
Yep.
And they will.
They're
and
the
then
worst.
some of the deterrents that you can, there are predator urines that you can buy, but again, it's just like everything else. You have to reapply it if you get
I hear
rain.
it's gotten so bad that moles are starting to revolt because they're encroaching on their once complete domain. Now they're
true
competing.
dystopia happening in Middle Tennessee.
Oh yes,
It's getting
I
wild
don't
out
want to mess
there.
with the moles, man.
No, you don't. Bloom, and I want to make sure we get one more question. We got a few live questions,
Yes, we
but
did.
having a major deer problem this year, they have eaten my tall phlox and tops of my tough stuff hydrangea. Will this affect my hydrangea blooms next year, and can I cut the tall phlox now since I have no blooms left?
Sure, you can cut your phlox now. That's fine. And it's not necessarily going to affect your hydrangea next year, but you need to leave those sticks up on that one, okay? The tough stuff is a serrata type hydrangea. That needs the old wood to stay up, so do not prune that to the ground. Whatever you have up that the deer didn't eat, leave up, okay? That's where the buds are coming from next year.
Leave it up. Oh, there's the music.
Oh.
The music.
It's 9.
Gosh,
Neem oil on junipers for mites. Yeah, miticide.
It wouldn't hurt. Yeah, I mean, don't do it in the sun.
That was another fast hour, guys.
Absolutely, it was.
Real
Oh my
fast.
goodness gracious! We're gonna have to come back next Saturday morning. What do you
Let's
think?
just do that.
Okay, we can do that. Hey, everybody out there, have fun in your garden. Have fun inside
Hey,
your house. 'Cause
great
that's what
weather.
Yes, it's
Couldn't be
glorious. Tomorrow you're open 12 to
Yes,
4.
noon to
Okay.
4. So
Noon
come
to
out and
4.
see us.
We'll be here
You got pansies for some people.
for Joyce.
For Joyce. Pansies for Joyce.
Joyce and
Hey.
anyone else who would like.
For everybody here at Gardening Inside Out, we appreciate you joining. Hey, like us, share us, tell the whole world. Go out and find the Instagram, share it to the world too, and see what's going on there around. Hey, we'll be back next Saturday morning right here from the Green Room Studios at Bates Nursery and Garden Center. See you then.
Thank you for tuning into the Gardening Inside Out podcast. If you're looking for more information or more from your hosts, don't forget that we have a live Saturday morning broadcast, 8 a.m. Central Time on YouTube and Facebook. You can also follow us on our Instagram channel. That's @Gardening Inside Out for more posts, reels, and in-depth dives to topics and things we've discussed on the show. If our content resonates with you, consider giving us a follow, like, and subscription on all of our social media pages. See you next time.